Thanks for joining us for today's Northern Ag TV, brought to you by our friends at BNSF Railway.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Well, recently we had a very special guest join us here in studio, the 2025 Montana FFA National Officer Candidate, Mr. Ryan Ball. Ryan will be heading down to Indianapolis next week as he prepares for his journey running for a National FFA Officer title. Now, Ryan has always been an outstanding young leader in his community, but at first, Ryan didn't know that the Montana FFA Organization was going to be his true calling.
Growing up in Park City was very unique for me because we grew up kind of outside of town a little bit, and really I had no connection to agriculture at all. My parents both worked in Billings, and Park City was just kind of the space to be able to commute back and forth and not really live in the city, but be able to have, land and just be able to kind of have a nice house, not super involved in the city. And so when I decided to join FFA, truly my parents thought it was the craziest idea. But yeah, truly FFA was out of the blue for me. But truly, as I grew throughout the organization, I really learned about the community that FFA builds and the community that agriculture is as a whole, right? You don't have to be involved and you don't have to grow up on a traditional, maybe what you would normally think of agriculture, to be involved in the community and be able to have a space and belong within agriculture. And I think that's what really drew me in.
Now, after being involved in the organization for many years and serving as a chapter officer at Park City FFA, Ryan found new motivation at a state convention where he got a glimpse of the FFA state officer and thought that would be a great opportunity for him.
I was at this alumni leadership camp in the summer, and at camp they write happy grams. And so I received a happy gram that had said at the bottom, "Never change." And that for me was kind of like a weird phrase that I had never really heard before, because it was so easy for me to change my personality to fit in, change who I was, to be able to, be the cool person in school. And so I never really thought about that before. And in that moment, did I have a great idea of where I wanted to go with that? No. But I knew that was the message I wanted to share and really highlight individuality and show that, hey, you could be someone who's trying something new, but that's awesome. And that's when you change the world, is when you're just able to be you and be comfortable with it.
Now, Ryan previously served as the 2024-2025 Montana FFA State Sentinel, and back in the spring was selected to represent the state as the National FFA Officer Candidate. During our podcast with Ryan last week, our network's own Joe Lackman asked him one of his favorite interview questions: what piece of advice would Ryan give to a young student interested in joining the FFA organization?
It's a crazy experience, and it's one that I don't think I would ever have anywhere else except for this organization. And just telling them about my experience, but also convincing them that, hey, you got to find out why you want to do this, and this has got to be your reason. It can't be anyone else's reason, because I saw this quote the other day, and it was, when you are yourself, you change the world. And I think that's something that is extremely easily forgotten. And it's easy to try and fit in with people, and it's easy to try and, okay, I'm going to hide this part of myself because people won't like this, And I think that's something that I did not realize early in my life. And I think now that I've grown and I've gone through state office, and now I've gone through this process of becoming a national officer, truly it's the growth of, okay, this is who I am, the good, the bad, the ugly, and this is why I can serve people. And I think that's my big piece of advice to anyone who wants to run for state offices. Really look at yourself and think about what you can share with other people.
We wish Ryan the best of luck as he heads down to Indianapolis next week in preparation for National FFA Officer title. You can tune in to our full conversation and podcast with Ryan at Northern Ag Network on demand. I'm Colton Young with today's Northern Ag TV. Have a good one.